It hits. Oh, and it does like 90% of its HP. Okay. The next 7-star raid is quickly approaching, and while we've looked at a few builds already that promise massive damage against Hisuian Decidueye, they all come with quite a bit of risk. So today, let's take a look at a low-risk, consistent, reliable solo build that you can use to take on 7-star Decidueye and still do plenty of damage and make this one super easy. The bonus, you probably have this one 90% of the way built already. That's right, today we're looking at the bug TERA Mew that we use to take on 7-star Mewtwo raids, and how with just a few modifications, it can be used to absolutely stomp 7-star Decidueye. So with that, let's get to the build. And just like that, we're back to using Mew again. This is the same Mew that I used to take down 7-star Mewtwo. It even still has the Mightiest mark on it. So, this one again is Psychic typing with a bug TERA type. And for the held item on this one, we didn't go with the Metronome or the Shell Bell. We actually went with the Insect plate on this one, because it's going to give us that immediate attack boost that is not going to change regardless of what bug type move we're using. So this one is just a permanent increase to our bug attacking moves. And as always, this one is level 100 because it's a 7-star raid. It kind of has to be level 100 in order for it to work. Now for our EVs on this one, we did not change a single thing from the last time we used this. So it is still max HP, max physical attack with an adamant nature. So 252 in your HP, 252 in your physical attack, and the other 6 EVs on this one, if you haven't put them in already, can go in either your physical defense or your speed. Either one will work. The ability is synchronized because that's really all we get on this one. Now, as far as the moveset goes on this one, we went very heavily offensive for this build. So, the first move that we have is Sword Stance, the ever reliable attack boosting move that allows us to boost our physical attack by 2 stages every time we use it. So in 3 turns, you're at max physical attack at +6. Next up, we have a move that we haven't used in a raid before, but is actually perfect for this one. This is Lunge. Lunge is a bug type move that is 80 base power and has the additional effect of lowering the target's attack stat every time you attack. So this is going to be perfect to keep Hisuian Decidueye's attacking control when it inevitably decides to spam Bulk Up or Sword Stance or something that's just going to keep increasing its attack. Next on the list, we have X Scissor, the ever reliable bug type move that is again 80 base power, 100% accuracy, no secondary effect on this one. This one is simply here in case we need a backup move if we run out of PP on Lunge while we're doing the raid. And finally on the list, we have Leech Life. Now, Leech Life is our substitute for the Shell Bell on this one. It is again 80 base power, 100% accuracy, but has the added bonus of letting us restore up to half the HP, or half the damage that we dealt to the target to our HP, which means that pre-shield, we're going to do massive damage to Decidueye and basically always put ourselves back at 100 or at 100% HP. And even after the shield's up, we're still going to be restoring massive chunks of our health if we need to with this one. Now, the basic strat for this one is pretty simple. You're going to hop in and use Sword Stance for the first 3 turns of the raid to get yourself at +6 physical attack. After you've done that, you're going to start using Lunge to not only deal damage to Decidueye, but also lower its physical attack as well. If you start getting too low on your HP, you can throw in a Leech Life in there to get back plenty of HP on this one, and then go back to using Lunge. And of course, if you run out of PP on this one, move on to X Scissor and start dealing even more damage to Hisuian Decidueye. If the raid comes out and you find out that you really don't need X Scissor on this one, I would honestly replace it with Reflect, just to make sure that you can take even less damage from Hisuian Decidueye's attacks. But you know what? Don't take my word for it. Let's take a look at what this looks like in a raid against a 5-star Pokemon with a similar defense stat to what Hisuian Decidueye has. Fury Cutter does basically nothing to us, which is, you know what? I'm totally fine with that. sword stance number 2. And with this one, we honestly probably don't need 3 sword stances here. But that's totally fine with me. We'll go ahead, we'll get our 3rd sword stance off. It does Shadow Sneak, which doesn't do a whole lot to us. Mew having the massive bulk that it has with its HP is honestly going to make 7-star... Oh, it's going to make 7-star Hisuian Decidueye really easy to take care of. Luckily, Hypnosis wasn't going to hit us, so we do have time to get off our 3rd sword stance here. Even though Shadow Sneak's going to hit and basically do nothing to us. Oh, we're already at +6. Go figure. This Gallade raid is really weird. Anyway, at this point, we're going to come in. We're going to go ahead and do Lunge on this one just to see what it does. It hits. Oh, and it does like 90% of its HP. Okay. Psycho Cut does absolutely nothing. And the thing is Gallade's physical attack is, I believe it's higher than what Hisuian Decidueye's is. So the fact that we're tanking these, even though this is a 5-star raid, means that we're going to be in good shape when taking on Hisuian Decidueye. At this point, we have not been cleared yet. We've had our TERA orb stolen. But we can go ahead and run Lunge one more time on this just to drop that attack stat. Just like that. Continue to do massive damage. Gallade's attack falls, which means that it's not going to do... Yeah, it does like 30 points of damage to us at this point. Psychic Terrain we really don't care about. Now, if we really wanted to, we could come in here and use Leech Life because, you know, that's free for us. Does a ton of damage, and even with Shield up, is going to be enough to put us back up at full HP. So, this one honestly is huge. Brick Break comes in, does nothing to us. The nice thing is we're not going to be taking all of that super effective damage while we're non-terra'd on this one. And there we go. I didn't even get the final hit the AI did on this one. Oh, it's going to get off one last attack, just because it can. But there you have it. That is Mew, Bug Terra Mew again, that we're going to use to take on 7-star Hisuian Decidueye. This one, really reliable. Oh, it's an Herba Mystica raid too. Sweet. Really reliable, really consistent, and just does a ton of damage without all of the weakness and the risk that some of the other builds that we've done have. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you are going to use a physical Bug Terra Mew to take down 7-star Hisuian Decidueye. The damage calculations on this one are pretty impressive. They're not as impressive as some of the other ones, but this one has a very low risk tolerance for people wanting to do this solo. This one should handily take down Hisuian Decidueye with no problem whatsoever. But I want you guys to let me know down in the comments below, what builds are you planning on taking in to go against 7-star Hisuian Decidueye when he arrives later this week in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.